Hey folks, hope you had a great Valentine's Day. Actually, I just wanted to use this date as an excuse to talk about user communication with micro interactions. Because, as you know, I always like to tie these UX or product led growth themes to some kind of a more tangible real life experience. So, as you probably know, the key to success in any kind of relationship is communication. And unfortunately, many SaaS tools don't communicate with their users quite enough, especially at later stages in the user journey in a more subtle, reactive way. And this is all what the micro interactions are about. And the micro interaction model that I'm presenting just below here consists of several elements. So, first, we have the trigger. The trigger can be either user generated, so for instance, clicking on a button or navigating to a certain page in your app, or it can also be not user generated. So it can be, for instance, a product state or a certain state that the user has reached in your product, which you can easily set using segmentation. For instance, in user pilot, segmenting your users by a series of events or custom events that need to have happened several times in a specific order, in order for your UI to show the user a certain message. Right. And then after the trigger, obviously the trigger triggers something. So the trigger triggers the feedback, which is the micro interaction itself. Essentially, it's a message. It can be something, funny. It can be something very informative. It's a moment in your app when you're informing the user about something that's typically happening in the background. So, for instance, on your backend. These types of micro interactions are the most important because without them, the user can be confused. They can start rage clicking on something, or they can repeat an action unnecessarily. So these typically are success messages or error messages that inform your user that an action has not been performed. For instance, that after clicking the schedule button, the campaign has been actually scheduled, or after clicking the send button, the email or the money has actually been sent. And now a bit of a personal story here. I recently accidentally sent money twice to two different recipients. And it's not that I'm so generous, but basically the app that I was using, Revolut, hey, if anyone from Revolut is watching me, please fix this, didn't have the right micro interaction. I don't know, it looks like a bug in this case because in one of the cases I got an error message. So I expected that the money has not been sent and I clicked send again and then it went through. But then when I went into my transaction history, I actually realized that it had been sent twice. So the first error message was a false negative and the transfer has actually been completed. The second time, I actually didn't get an error message or a success message at all. It just seemed like the click on the button didn't happen at all. The app saved my current state. So I clicked the money send button and nothing happened at all. So again, as any user would do in this case, what will you assume, right? I assume that the money has not been sent because there wasn't any micro interaction from Revolut's end. There was an error message, there wasn't a success message. I clicked send money again. This time I got the success message. But then again, I went into my transaction history and I realized the money has been sent again twice. Fortunately, in both cases, these were small amounts and they were sent to people that I did know personally. So it wasn't a big issue to get the money back or say, like, hey, you can fix me up later, or, I won't send you the money back next month or whatever. So it wasn't a big problem. But imagine this was a large amount sent to a contractor or a big service. There would be a chance that you couldn't get it back or that it would take a lot of time and hassle to get it back. So now you probably feel how frustrating this lack of the proper micro interaction has been for me and how dangerous it can be for your users. So you should really think where you could plant these micro interactions to make the user experience better and to make sure your users reach their goals sooner. There are also other types of micro interactions. We mentioned plenty of them and plenty of examples in the article below. Some of them are purely to make the experience of waiting for something or doing something tedious like entering your password again and again into a lock screen a bit less painful and thus making the whole experience better. So go read this article below and let me know what you think about these micro interactions. I hope you enjoyed today's product rant and see you all next week. Bye.